then it also keeps you on track, right? Then you're like, okay, so who's coming on the next call? So good morning, good evening to every single one of you. Hello, hello. It was my welcome back week, and I can tell you, oh my God, it was crazy. A lot of new things. I know you are following us on social media. I want to really start tapping into our training portal under Opulence Global Family, where I'm going to be releasing you news every single day. There's always something to share. Do you find out that, we every day we have new partners, agreed? Every day we're welcoming new people to the business and to Opulence Global Nation. So imagine you're new, you just started your business, you don't know where to start. Yes, I might going to get into the calls of the Mondays and the Tuesdays and you might get there, but until then, maybe you are on social media and you need to be having all of this little bit of information coming from everywhere so that you can actually become better. Agreed? So I am going to be tapping into something that I am calling the training portal. Like, before we used to do Did You Knows on Opulence Global, but I find that Opulence Global is for all the public, right? For everybody. Everybody can see that. And a lot of times we're sharing kind of like more of private information that it's only relevant to partners. Agreed? So I want to be do that. I want to be able to do that under Opulence Global Family. So I want to make sure that every single one of you are part of that page. Opulence Global Family, it's actually a group of thousands upon thousands of partners around the world, who obviously are not all of them here on these calls. So we want to make sure we're putting out their information every day, 5-minute videos, 3-minute videos to give you information. So if you find that information over there, you might want to just forward those videos on WhatsApp or text it to your new team members. Try to continue building that amazing community that we have as Opulence Global Family. And I am sure that it's going to be it's going to help you in your business, to become better at passing on those messages. So welcome everyone. So let me know, Christine, when we're ready. It's 10:03, so we can start right away. I know there's going to be lots of questions and excitement happening, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. We are already excited to learn from you, Daniela. So I know most of the people who we have in here on the call already know our beautiful, good-looking Daniela, Sales Development Manager, in Opulence Global. But for everyone who doesn't know her yet, she is our Sales Development Manager. She's, the one training us every Saturday, committed herself in sickness or in health. She is there training us in building our Opulence Global business. She has more than 14 years of experience in direct sales already. And that's the great thing, because we can tap into her experience, her knowledge, and, she is always ready to give us tips and tricks and knowledge when it comes to becoming more and getting better in building our business. And that's the great thing. Just like Daniela mentioned, she works very closely together with our CEO and our Senior Vice President, Sana Suman. And, that's the great thing. She is all over our social media as well. And I love that about that. So, Daniela, I know that you have lots and lots of accolades. You have, when it comes to graphic design, you are also there and one of our top, team, corporate team members. And I do want to learn from you right now. So without further ado, thank you very much for being on this call. I know that a lot of our partners are going to learn from you as well. So without further ado, let's get the call started.
Amazing. Awesome. So slowly, my energy is coming back. So I want to say, like you said, in sickness and in health, I always want to give you like my very, very best and my energy and my excitement. But today's topic is very, very important. I know we've been talking about it for a long time. We keep on saying, okay, let's do a time management call. Let's do a money management call. How I used to manage my money back in the, I actually brought my little wallet so I can show you. I brought the jar. So if you're saving money on jars, you can do that as well. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up here is because our society is changing. Our world is changing, and we have to be able to adapt. We have to be able to, what it is that I am standing in my business today. I know many of you might not even touch cash anymore. So this is like, I brought it so you can see it. I find that it's still helpful. Believe it or not, raise your hand if you have ever had times in your life or in your business where you have more month than money. Has that ever happened to you? I want to see hands coming on. Say yes. Like, I have had times in my life where I have had more month than money, right? I love to see me. Yes, because we are not planning ahead for the next 30 days. We're not planning ahead for the next month. We're not planning ahead or where the money is going to be going for all my expenses that I have. But in my business, I need to be diligent as well, right? A lot of people start a business because they want to be out of debt. Some people start this business because they have a dream of traveling. Some people start this business because they just want to create $500 extra a month. Is that you? $500 extra a month would make a difference in your life. Will $1,000 make a difference in your life? Whatever amount of money is, you are going to be doing certain activities that are going to take you closer to that goal. Agreed? I love the energy. So when that happens to you, you need to understand that in this business, because you are your own boss, you need to manage time and money together. Time and money together. They all have their own, and I prepare something very, very cool for you today. And I am going to be able to share it with every single one of you. I'm going to actually upload it in your back office if you want. So at the end of the call, we will post it on Monday if you want. And if you feel it's something relevant to you that it will make a difference in your life, great. If you think you want to design your own, be free to do your own. All I'm sharing is from my heart, from my personal experience and what helped me. Because when I started in this industry 14 years ago, I had no idea about this. I didn't know anything about this. I just want to make sure. The most amazing part of this business is that you can learn. Okay, you can learn. You get to choose to learn a new skill, to learn a new topic. And I absolutely love everything about that. So when I started, learning that, okay, I'm going to put 2 hours on a Saturday and maybe 2 hours on a Wednesday. And then I go and do a class or a show or a presentation and I do a tour and I didn't sell anything. And I go back home and I'm feeling like, I didn't sell anything. I'm going to give you this story. One time, I was new in Canada. I think I have told you this story before. These ladies, they put together like 10 women in a room. I'm excited. I brought everything for the show. I am with my little trolley in the bus because I don't know if you know this, but the first time I earned my first car, I didn't even have a driver's license. So I did not actually have the car because I did not have a driver's license. So I actually had to commute a lot, in the TTC in Toronto. So I used to go with my little trolley everywhere I go, with snow, with shine, with rain, with anything. And I remember I went like 2 hours in the bus to meet these ladies. I was so excited. It was going to be 10 women in that room. So I am very excited to meet new people. I go there, I do full-fledged my presentation. I brought everything, everything to teach them about their skin and how to look beautiful. And by the way, they all look absolutely beautiful. So I do before and after photos. I'm going to teach you how to look beautiful. All of a sudden, I finished the class. I sold one eyeshadow that day. I remember one eyeshadow, 2 hours to go there, 2 hours to come back in the middle of the snow, 10 women, amazing presentation. I sold one eyeshadow, $10. I remember $10. I was devastated. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. 4 hours to sell one eyeshadow. And most likely is the eyeshadow that you don't have in your stock. Have you ever been there? Oh my God, I don't have the stock. I don't know. But all of a sudden that person happens to want that one product that you don't have. That was my first and last experience. I said, this is not going to happen to me again. Number one, I need to make sure I have a stock. If I'm introducing you to the Safe Home Revolution, I have a Safe Home Revolution package to show you. If I'm going to teach you about Fairy Flawless Totale package, I make sure I have a Fairy Flawless Totale package for you today, right now. You can take it home. Why? Because people are on the go. Right now, sales right now are completely different than how they were 14 years ago. Agreed? You might not even use this little wallet that I'm going to share with you because it has 3 pockets so that I make sure I don't spend my 150 PV. Why people have more month than money is just because they didn't plan ahead. And if you are at that point in your life where it's the end of the month and you didn't come up with your 150 PV, which is the very, very, very minimum, there is only two options. You either didn't sold any product or you overspend it, what you sold. Have you been there? There is only two options. Always remember this. You either overspend or you didn't sold enough to cover the 150. Your investment is never touched. You never touch your investment. The investment is there. That's why I don't call it an expense. But today, I'm going to share with you time and money management. Are you excited? I'm very excited for what I have for today. There is a lot of information, so make sure you have your notes with you, to draw. I'm going to be giving you, we're going to be doing probably 3 different activities today. So it's going to be a busy morning. So make sure you have your coffee, your tea. I'm going through my second coffee because this morning I woke up so early. I want to make sure I have everything in place. We have had time management training before. When it's New Year, I always love to give time management at the beginning of the year. So I'm actually going to go through a few of the slides that I had a couple of years ago when we did this training because it's very keen. So I'm going to go through those slides very quickly. And also because I want to give you this little bit of presentation. So first thing is that when you start ahead, you have to plan. I repeat, the reason why you end up with more month-end money is because you just didn't plan ahead. And in order to plan, all you have to do is make a decision. Decide that you want to be financially free and manage your time, wisely, because we all have the same 24 hours. Agree? Do we have our top income earners on the call? Raise your hand if you are on the call. I can see you. Christine, let me know if we have Renee, Reza, Ifra. If we have our top income earners, who else we have here? Ronan, Mohammed Jama, our LD3s, Stella Bassi. I want to see the leaders on this call because it takes a decision. They decided at some point in their life in Opulence Global that they want to make it to the top. They decided that they want to plan ahead, to have something. They decided, right? It is a decision. And if you are new on this call or if you just started, think of it as a fresh new day. Today, you are deciding that you want to make it to the next higher level in your business. Okay? If you don't decide, guess what? It is also a decision. And I love this because I never understood that since you are a kid and you wake up to go to the school and you are choosing your socks as you're going through your socks, you are choosing, you are deciding which pair of socks are you wearing today, right? Even if you wear a uniform, you are deciding that you need to wake up, get out of bed, put yourself together to go to school since you are a little kid. So we are deciding every single day. We just don't notice. Okay. So I am deciding to look good today. I am deciding to feel good today. It's everything. It's a decision. So wake up, put yourself a good attitude. The attitude helps. Why? Because we can have, very bad timing. You just saw me, for the past 3 weeks. I was not in my 100%, but I gave you my best attitude, right? Most of you didn't even know what I was going through. You don't have to know what the other person is going through, right? If you have a good attitude and, you are portraying your best. The only one time I remember, it was about 4 weeks ago, I was invited to be a special guest at Ifra's call with her team and leaders. It was a phenomenal call. After 3 hours, I had to text her. And Ifra is here to attest that I was like, my dear, I am boiling. I had I think 39 and a half or 40 in fever. I'm like, I can't continue. It was 3 hours later, but I wanted it to be there and give my best at those 3 hours I decided to have, right? Because it is a decision and you never know who are you going to make an impact on. You never know who are you going to make an impact on. So write this down. Whether you're feeling your best or not, you never know who are you going to make an impact on, right? So I agree. Now we're going to divide our goals because time and money go hand in hand, but at the same time, you might have different types of goals. You might have personal goals. You might have health goals. You might have family goals. You might have goals for your community, right? And in times of, distress like this, like we are in times where everybody's stressed, where not everybody knows where are they going. Not everybody has a business like you to build your income on a daily basis. Not everybody has a job, right? People are quarantined, right? So you might have different types of goals. And then of course, you're gonna implement new personal growth habits. Okay. And I love Pauline sharing, develop a growth mindset, improve your public speaking skills. Maybe you wanna become better, at just being thankful for what you have. So 3 things I am gonna share with you, and I have it in my calendar and I'm gonna share with you in a minute. It's the power hour. I do the power hour every day, but some people don't even know what a power hour is, right? So have a journal. Do you have a gratitude journal? A journal where you write every day things that you are appreciated of, things that you are thankful for. For me, gratitude is one of the most powerful and amazing things you can have in your life and implement in your children's life. You see, I'm not a mom, but I see my friends, how they educate their children, right? So by doing so, you improve as a person, you grow as a human being, you become a better version of you, which you have to start with yourself. Okay? And then the power hour, it's allowing you can have a power hour, a personal power hour, and then you can have a business power hour. I love business power hours because if you are that type of person that don't have time and you are the busy type of people that, you have 300 things to do on a day, you want to have an opulence power hour. That's the hour that you're going to split in 4. 15 minutes to make phone calls, 15 minutes to talk to your team, 15 minutes to speak to new prospects, and 15 minutes to book new sales or new appointments. So 4 times. Remember to divide it. Power hour for your business. If you only have 1 hour a day, divide it in 4. Split your contacts. And I love to see when Christine hosts her call. I know we have many forensic networkers here. She has her forensic networker box right there. Why? Because that box is going to tell you exactly who are you supposed to call in your business power hour. Okay, so I just wanted to share very few slides with you today. And then you decide, how committed are you with your business? If you're a full-time mom, you have 3 children, you have to take them to school, you have to, manage 3 different schedules and 3 different weeks because they have their own things to do and you are the one who organizes that, then guess what? You're choosing if you are a part-time in this business, if you are full-time in this business, and how many hours you are going to invest in your business. You need to know all of this I'm giving you is an intro for what we are going to see today. And I hope you love it, but I also hope you use it on a daily basis and it's going to take your business to the next level. But you have to use it. You have to do it every day. First of all, you have to be committed to yourself. Okay? And the 3 key words I love to repeat: are you willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? 3 words, very key words. Are you willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? Why? Because if you're not willing to work, no problem. You see, it's not like you're going to become a millionaire overnight. Number 2, are you willing to risk, to do things that you didn't do before, to do things that you've never done before? I love, for example, when Pauline shared, improve my public speaking skills. Maybe it's something that I want to practice on. Am I willing to risk in learning that, right? And sacrifice. Why do I need to know that I want to sacrifice? Why? Because maybe it's time that you could be with your family. Maybe it's time that you could be playing with your children. Maybe it's time that you were choosing to be, doing community work in your church, or, whatever it is. Are you willing to work, risk, and sacrifice for a short period of time, for a long period of reward? Okay. And I love this because this is where we are able to connect as human beings in where we want to become better. So am I willing to become that version of myself every day? And I share this with the team every day in our office. We are always evolving. We're always becoming better. So there is times where it's hard. Don't take me wrong. We spend 9-10 hours a day with each other, right? Are you committed to make that difference happen in others people's life? Are you committed to you, first of all? Are you committed to your business? And this doesn't apply only to Opulence, it applies to everything in your life. You see, I don't know if you know this about me, but I come from an Olympian background, and I was in the team of rhythmic gymnastics since I was 5. I started in gymnastics when I was 5. And I remember at the end of my career, I became a coach before coming to Canada. And I had 70 gymnasts in my team that I develop every day when they come for, their classes. I don't talk about gymnastics, I talk about life, because gymnastics teaches you discipline. Gymnastics teaches you accountability. Gymnastics teaches you commitment. You see, sports in general, not only gymnastics, but I was talking about myself. So was I willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? Right? So this is a very, very big word, and that's why I want to stretch it. So now when I speak to those girls that were girls back in the day, right? They basically became like my daughters. They were 5, 6, 7, and the oldest was back in the day 15. So she's 30 now. Right? So when I speak to them now, it's just like, Danny, you taught us beyond gymnastics. You taught us things for life. Right? You taught us things for life that if it wasn't because of that background, like where would you have that in your life? Then you learn it in different ways, right? But I absolutely love that. It teaches you to be committed. It teaches you to be disciplined. It teaches you to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning every day and go to do your routine for 8 hours and, stretch your body and go through pain. And, it's the pains and gains in life. So these 3 words for me mean a lot. Are you willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? And if the answer is no, don't take me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're saying no to any of these 3 words, no problem. You're just not ready yet. It's okay. You can continue to be part-time, enjoy your products, love the trainings, be a part of the community. I love it. Okay. So are you willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? 3 magic words. I love it. Okay. So don't panic whether the answer is yes or no. There is no right or wrong. I'm not here to, say, oh, you're not willing to work, risk, and sacrifice. It's just that what is your next level? Whether it's, I am an LD1, I want to become an LD2. Actually, I am an LA, I want to become an LD1. Actually, I'll take you backwards. I am a retailer, I want to become an LA. Right? It doesn't matter what decision it is. It could be anything. My case scenario, I want to renovate my entire house. What is going to be? Am I willing to work, risk, and sacrifice? Right? Always ask yourself these 3. So I hope that with this intro, you are like in the zone, in the mode to learn, because what I'm about to give you is a lot of data, and sometimes data it could be boring, right? But today is not anything about to be bored. It's about being excited. It's about you making the time in your headspace. So the next activity we're going to do, actually, I love using colors. So I'm going to teach you how to color code your time. This is for time management, but I'm not going to be there here. We're going to talk about time management first. And this is where I want you, I'm going to remove this slide because I don't want you to see it. I'm going to just follow you through it. And then you are going to be writing in your paper. And then at the end, you're going to be like, oh, what happened here? So I want you to be as surprised as I was when I did this exercise in my own life. So I want you to do it so that you can visualize in yourself, in your space. If you're in your living room, your bedroom, wherever you are right now, I want you to visualize all the time that you are wasting. Okay? So first of all, I want you to grab your piece of paper right now and write all the way at the top of the paper, okay, at the top of the paper or your notebook or whatever it is that you're writing. We all have 168 hours in a week. So Bill Gates has the same 24 hours that you have. And he's the most wealthy or the richest or, men in the world. So same thing with thousands upon thousands of people around the world who does not have that. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. So today I'm going to show you how every single one of us with the same amount of time, we just use it differently. So after that, I want to write down, for example, if you have a job, if you have a job, how many hours do you spend in your job? Are you working a full-time job? That means you're working 8 hours per day and you're working 5 days a week. That's 40 hours. So you're going to put 168 all the way at the top of your page. How many hours are you using for your job? Okay. If it's 40, 168 minus 40. Okay. I want you to make a visual of how are you using your time, because most of the times entrepreneurs are masters in procrastinating, and sometimes we don't notice that we're actually procrastinating, right? So how many hours are you spending in other things that are taking time from your actually income generating activities? Okay, so if you have a job, how many hours do you put in your job? Now, ladies, do you spend time cooking? Okay, are you cooking every day? How many hours do you cook? I want to see in the chat. I want to have this conversation with you. You know, this is all about all of us working together towards what we want to achieve. So are you investing hours in cooking? Okay. Some women or some men, they have to have fresh food every day. So they do cook every day. I don't cook every day. I don't have time to cook every day. So if you cook, how long do you take? Okay, 40 minutes. Shamila takes 40 minutes every day. Perfect. Mohammed Jama, you cook every day, Pauline? Perfect. If you cook every day, that's 8 hours of cooking. Perfect. Or 7 hours. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, you take a little bit more. That's only for cooking. Perfect. I cook once a week. Agreed. I cook only Sundays. I separate my food for the week, and believe me, I take lunch when I go to the office. We are eating all day. We're masters on food. We love food in the office. So I cook once a week, maybe a couple of hours. Okay. Perfecto. Maybe you take 40 minutes a day. So 7 days a week times 40 minutes, 280 minutes. It's how many hours? About 7? Or like 6.5? Perfect. So if you're cooking, so reduce 168 minus your 8 hours a day times 5 days, for example, for work. That's 40 hours that you invest in working. Now, how many hours you're using for cooking? So 6 hours a week. Obdulia is taking 6 hours a week. So minus 6 hours, minus 8 hours, whatever time you invest cooking, deduct it, okay? I'm gonna show you how many hours you actually are wasting in your life. I love this activity. Perfect. Now, laundry. How long do you take to do laundry? 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. If you have like 7 kids and you need to do laundry for all of them, fantastic. How many hours do you use for laundry? I don't even do laundry. Or if I do it between I'm washing dishes or I'm cleaning my house. So I just go through things, put it done, continue. I don't separate time for laundry. But if you do, right? If you do and you take a couple of hours, 3 hours, I put 3 hours in there, but in there I throw my cleaning of my house, my laundry, whatever. Awesome. I do laundry while I do other stuff. I love that. Another thing, and I'm going to give you a tip. The other day I was teaching in the office. I gave them 7 habits for the most successful people. Did you know that when you are undressing yourself, okay, this is a tip for time management. I love it. If you are keen about saving every minute that you have, okay, when you are undressing yourself and you're throwing your clothes in your laundry baskets, yes, when you're doing that, if you're just throwing everything together, did you know you can save a week time at the end of the year by separating your clothes when you are undressing? Did you know that? Check it out. It's in Google too, and there's hundreds of videos about that. So if you are also learning on a daily basis, you can watch out these videos because it's phenomenal the amount of time that you can actually save. So when you are undressing yourself at night and you're, putting your pajamas or whatever, you have to separate your clothes already in colors. How are you going to wash it? So if you are one of those big families, and I love that you have lots of kids and you have to do laundry for them, start teaching them that, okay? Instead of just throwing everything in the basket and then taking time to sort clothes to put them in the laundry, wow, it's 1 week you can save. I love it. So it's all about saving time, right? Today I'm teaching you time management because now you're an entrepreneur and you have to use every single moment smartly. Yes? Awesome. I love it. I am cooking now and listening to a training call, multitasking. Love it. So save time. So when you are undressing yourself, organize your clothes and putting by color. So you save time at the end of the week. So when I shared this with the staff was laughing. They were like, oh my God, Daniela, thank you for the tip. I'm going to speak to my wife, and then everybody was sharing, we're going to speak to the wife because we definitely do not, separate the clothes when we're undressing. We just throw them in the same basket, right? Agree? I used to have only one basket, but now I have it. I have different. So when I am doing laundry, I just grab the basket of the load I'm going to do. And you also save a lot in loads in water because sometimes you just throw everything, and even if it's a small, just a few pieces, then I don't wash it. I wait until I have enough to put the whole thing, right? I'm saving water, I'm saving soap and everything. Perfect. Next one. How many hours do you do transportation? Are you commuting? Okay, back in the day when I'm sharing with you that I used to go do shows and classes and trade shows and I was meeting people every day, I commuted a lot. And that's why I knew having a car, is not a need or is not a luxury, it's a need, because I really wanted it to save time in transportation. And this is another tip I'm going to give you. Something that happens in this business, a lot of people, and I see this every day, customers call in the office, I don't have the support of my upline, I have not met my upline, who's my five, can you connect me with the leader? This happens every day. Don't think it's like, everybody's go happy go lucky. No, but because no partner is left behind, we want to make sure everyone has someone that can guide them, right? And so when they call me, I feel very sad when they call me and they say, Danny, like, I don't have the support of my upline. I say, impossible. That doesn't happen in our Opulence Global Nation. And I know that if I ask someone to connect with someone, that you will be there for that person. So I have connected a lot of partners together. I know sometimes they call, from a different country, but I know they speak Spanish. I send them to Abdulia just for the sake that they speak Spanish. I know they're not in her team, but I know that she's going to support them, right? So how many hours do you spend commuting? Back in the day, I just share with you a story. I took 2 hours to get there and 2 hours to come back to that show. I will never forget. I sold one eyeshadow for $10. I will never forget. And I didn't have it. So I had to place an order for that eyeshadow. Imagine that. But now I laugh, okay? Now I can use it to inspire you. So how many hours right now? I find that a lot of people are saving time because they are not commuting like they used to. I can tell you, if someone on this call commutes, is our Philippines team. OMG, is Rico here on the call? I can tell you, if someone on this call commutes, is the Philippines team. How many hours are you commuting? Did the pandemic affect traffic in Philippines, by the way, Rico? Can you text for me? Maybe you want to share with us. I commuted when I was in Philippines a lot, like a lot, right? Have you noticed, or have really your time of commute going down since, the quarantine? So I find that because people are staying at home, they really have the opportunity to commute less. So those hours, guess what's happening? They are free hours that you can use for something else. Okay? So are you commuting every day, Rico? How many hours a day? 1 hour to go to the office. So I know that was your commute time. Has your commute time shortened since the pandemic started? It's almost going to be a year. Wow, imagine an hour drive every day, more than an hour drive. I know Marie drives, I think, 2 hours or something, but I cannot ever forget the day I arrived to Philippines. It was Sunday at 4 a.m. in the morning, okay? I arrived in Manila Sunday at 4 a.m. in the morning. The driver was waiting for me. He picked me up to drive me to the hotel. It was a 2 hour drive from the airport to the hotel. Sunday at 4 a.m. in the morning, because now Filipinos are going to church very early to avoid traffic. But oh my God. So if people in this call commit is Philippine people. But you see, I love it. Beautiful, beautiful country. Anyways, next. How many hours are you committing? Did you write down how many hours are you committing? If you're not committing, that's perfect. That means you're saving time. So we have 168 hours minus your hours at work, minus the hours of cooking, minus your hours of laundry, minus your transportation or commute. So let's say if you're commuting 1 hour per day, that means it's 5 hours a week or 7 hours a week. If it's 2 a day, whatever it is, deduct it. Now, how many hours are you sleeping? Sleeping is very important. If I don't have my sleep, I just can't handle this, okay? So I am one of those probably very few people that do sleep 8 hours. Most of the days I do sleep 7. So are you taking your 8 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep? So 8 times 7, 56 hours for sleeping. Deduct it, okay? I love my sleep too, Dion. I'm telling you, I cannot function without my 8 hours. So how many hours are you sleeping? Perfect. Now, how many hours are you taking a day to eat? Okay, let's deduct how many hours are we taking from our weekly basis to eat. 1 hour for breakfast, 1 hour for dinner, 1 hour for lunch. How much? How many hours? Okay. Are you doing 3 hours a day times 7 days? Take 21 hours from your count. Okay. So in my case, I'm going to share a story with you. In the office, we have 1 hour lunch. Okay. We try, believe me, we try to take 1 hour lunch every day. Most of the times it doesn't happen because we're busy, we're here, we're there, we just go eat and go back to work. But we are entitled to 1 hour lunch. So last week that I was sick, I was working from home. I'm working on something very, very cool to release for you. So I was flowing. Imagine no phones, no team, nobody's bothering me, only my cell phone. My cell phone never stops. But in the office, we get lots of distractions because I'm in charge of the PVS team. I'm in charge of operations, then we're all over the place. I think I worked more that week than when I'm in the office. And I forgot to take lunch. I actually forgot to take lunch. I never took 1 hour lunch in the entire week. Has that happened to you? So if you are at home because you're building your business most of the times, you might not give yourself the time to eat. So I want you to book it and schedule it, right? So 1 hour for the 3 meals plus snacks. I like that, Dion. That means you are just like on the go, go, go. Maybe a coffee in the morning, your bread, your healthy meals. If you are into healthy eating, I love that. I am so into healthy eating. By the way, I'm going to share with you. Last night I came in, my husband is like, I'm feeling like soup. I said, okay, great. I throw broccoli, celery, spinach in the blender, put it in the soup. It comes out hot from the blender. I love it. Put some croutons. We had an amazing soup, delicious, hot, nice, warm. It's very, very cold today and it's going to be a snowstorm again. So if you are into eating healthy, I think it's one of the easiest way to eat as well. You don't take too much time of cooking, but I love my tacos, my tamales. We call them vitamin T in Mexico. I love vitamin T, tacos, tostadas, tamales, tortillas. So if you are a vitamin T lover, I am there. And of course, that takes a lot of time. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, always February 3rd, February 4th, we celebrate baby Jesus. So we eat tamales. So we actually did tamales in my house. So we actually bake them and cook them. And to actually do the corn dough is like, 30 minutes of moving the dough. But we did it. It's something that we enjoy. We enjoy cooking together, right? So if you are into vitamin T, that takes a lot of time. So I use not that from my cooking time, I use that from my family time, which we are about to go through. So next, how many hours are you saving for family time? Okay. So family time. I know many of you have children, or you decide to have, for example, your Sundays. Sundays is my family time. Now I'm using a little bit of the Saturdays for family time as well. Every evening, when I go to the gym, I try to go to the gym with my husband. We have now our own gym, I told you, in our garage. So if that's time that you want to invest and have time with your family, how are you using time for other activities to be with your family? You have to book it. You have to put it in your agenda. How many hours are you putting for family time? So give me some ideas. I think family time, if you do 15 hours, it could be 1 hour a day plus 10 hours on the weekend, for example, right? So share with me, how many hours are you separating for family time? Share with me, because I don't have kids, so everybody's different. So Pauline is sharing 2 hours a day to watch a movie together. I love that. So I watch movies every day. So you are actually good. It's not even 1 hour a day. It's 2 hours a day. Love it. So if you're watching movie, doing Sudokus, I love doing puzzles, for example. So I put a puzzle in my dining room, and it stays there. So every day, or when we're having, like before I go to the work, right? In the morning, I'm having my breakfast at 6 a.m. I do 5 puzzle pieces before I go to work. So then my brain is already awake. By the time I get to the office, I'm like, oh, fully awake. Okay. I love it. So how many hours are you taking for family time? So for example, Ethel, you're alone. Maybe you don't have, family time like that. You can call it me time. So what it is your me time? Are you grooming yourself? For example, maybe you take a nice warm bath, or maybe you decide to take time for yourself to go to the gym. Maybe you take time to, do a mask, for example. I love doing a spa days with my fairy flawless. So if I'm going to have a spa day on a Sunday where I'm going to take like 15 minutes of my spa day, like maybe instead of having it or call it family time, you can call it my me time. Okay. How much time you're taking for yourself. Okay. Even if you're doing movies time, Ethel, even if you're watching movies for yourself, you can call it like that, but you have to book it. So how many hours? Sunday, 3 hours. Perfect. 2 hours a day. Mariam Adam, 2-3 hours to help spend time with my family, my brother who is in disability. Fantastic. So Mariam spends also that time. So you have to put it. So if it's 7 days times 2 hours, I would say 5 days times 2 hours, that's 10 plus your weekends. Okay. So maybe, for example, Maria Baptiste, you're taking 1 hour for your workout. That's your me time. 5 hours a week you have to put is either family time or your gym. You have to book it separately, okay? That could include your power hour. I like to call it differently, and you're going to see why you want to call it differently, okay? You want to call it differently because when you have your gym time or your workout time, it's different than the time that you spend with your family, even if your kids are doing it with you, for example. I have seen videos, for example, or Instagram stories, right? For example, I have seen Stephanie Wise having, doing yoga with her son. So maybe it's not considered family time. She's using it as her gym time, workout time for me, but I'm sharing it with my son, right? So I love that you can use and utilize time slots together to combine activities, right? And maybe you're doing 45 minutes 3 times a week. I love that, Dion. Maybe it's not every day. So I'm going to show you how are you going to book it. Okay. Last but not least, how many hours a day are you taking for grooming? Okay. And you can add more activities as you add. So let's go back and you're going to tell me your total. Okay. So are you using your power hour? Like I use my power hour for myself in the mornings, 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's 15 minutes to pray, 15 minutes for gratitude, 15 minutes, for yourself to have your coffee, whatever. But I do full breakfast in the morning, so I don't count it in my personal hour. Okay, 15 minutes for stretching, for your body. right? And then 15 minutes of positive affirmation. So I already have my journal from the night before, then I do my 15 minutes of positive affirmations for the day. That's my personal power hour in the morning, 5 a.m. So you can use it. I see here, for example, Steph calls it a miracle morning, an hour to for myself, coffee, stretching, gratitude, and setting intentions. I love that. So it's for different purposes, but it's the same idea. Okay, so if you do 1 hour for grooming, that includes, you know, showering, putting your makeup on, preparing for the day, doing your fairy flawless, regardless if you're a woman or a man on this call, you do have to have a fairy flawless face. Okay, so that means it's 7 hours out of your pocket. Now, give me your totals. I want to hear your totals. 168 minus your job, minus your laundry, minus your cleaning, minus your cooking, minus your sleeping. How many hours you have left? I want to see how many hours you have left. You want to share? Share with me how many hours you have left. Do the math and share with me. Fantastic, 26 hours. Wow, 26 and a half. I love that. 17, Magdalene. Wow. Okay, continue, share with me. How many hours left you have? 17, Jan. My power hour, praying, listen, personal development, and workout. Fantastic. Maria Baptiste, how many hours you have left before I share the slide? I don't want to share the slide before you guys share with me how many hours left. Do your math, 168 minus sleeping, minus your job, minus your commute. We talk about commuting. Rico, how many hours you have left? Maybe none. Okay, how many hours you have left? Because we haven't talked about business, right? Healthy lifestyle has 10 hours left. Wow, that's huge. Okay, how many hours you have left? No one's sharing. Okay, let's put it on the chat. Share with me how many hours you have left. Dr. Julita, you have 10 hours left, 12 hours left. Obdulia has 32 hours left. Wow. Powerful. Pamela. Hi, Pamela. You have 26 hours left. Oh my God, I'm so excited because this is going to be amazing. 25 hours, Steph. That's fantastic. 50 hours left. Taha. Wow. How can you have 50 hours left? Does that mean you're not sleeping? Okay, Ketura, we have to revisit your calendar. She's at -2. Ketura, you can't have -2. Something is wrong there. You cannot have -2 because that means you're overspending time. You see how amazing is this exercise? That means you are overspending time. Pauline has 17 hours left. Amazing. If you have more than 10 hours, you can still do a part-time business with Opulence. Wow, 16 hours, Samsan, fantastic. Maggie, you have 17. Share with me. We haven't talked about church gardening. I love it. Ketura, it's fine. Put it in there. You have to add it. And I'm going to show you a way that you are going to visualize and see where are you putting your time. Okay, but we have to be very smart because Ketura, if you're at -2, where is your time for this training? Where is your time for your Opulence business? What is your time for what we haven't spoke about? 21 hours, Ototo, that's fantastic. 18 hours, okay, Rico, you're not that bad. You have 18 hours. You can still run an Opulence business. No sleep, Taha, 56 hours a week, 35 hours training. Amazing. I double counted. You have 13 hours left. So make sure you know your hours. Now I'm going to share the slide again so you can actually see. For this time management presentation, we had 40 hours for job, 8 hours for cooking, 3 hours for laundry, 7 hours transportation, okay? 6 hours for hobbies. We haven't even discussed about hobbies. 56 hours for sleeping, 21 hours for eating. That's 3 hours a day. Look at this. 15 hours for family time, 1 hour per day for grooming. We have 163 hours. We only have 5 hours free to run a part-time business with Opulence. I'm asking you for 5 hours. If you can give me 5 hours of your week to run a part-time business, I can show you how can you create revenue and wealth in your business. Of course, that is going to change because we talk about 3 words, right? Work, risk, and sacrifice. You're going to have to work those 5 hours, risk some of the things that you have not done before, and sacrifice some other areas in your life where you're putting time where you shouldn't. Maybe you delegate to your children to help you with laundry. Maybe you ask them to help you cooking, wash the vegetables for me while I prepare supper, set up the table. Maybe your hobbies, instead of doing 6 hours of hobbies, right? Maybe one Sunday you take off from, being with your family to make up a few hours for your business. Okay, so now all of you know how many hours you have free in your day, in your week. That is going to translate into your month. Okay? Comments and questions before we move on. Imagine this one I'm showing you is with 5 hours, but you mostly have 13, 16, 17, 20. Okay, Renee, you have 2 hours left? Wow, just kidding. That's because you spend a lot of time with your children, and I love that. But you see, we become very good at time managing. Like most of the times I see Renee, even when he comes into the office, he's like, hi. Okay, see you later. Yeah, I have to go by. But like, he's always in a rush, right? We're always in a rush. That's part of who we are and what we do. Why? Because busy people get more things done. So you're looking for busy people. You're looking for the prospect who has a lot of things to do. They can't even think of doing Opulence because you're going to show them how can they do this business, starting with 5 hours a week to start a part-time business, right? So I love this exercise because it makes you realize how much time you are actually wasting, including laundry time. I just gave you 7 more days in your year just by sorting laundry when you are undressing. Okay? So, are you excited? Because I'm very excited. I haven't even shown you anything yet. Okay. Are you ready? Awesome. So, now I'm going to stop sharing. So, I have created these 2 tools I find in my business help me a lot to decide, and even in the office, right? It helps us every day to decide what's a priority, what it is that I am using my day for. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is a sheet called my weekly plan sheet. The weekly plan sheet is for time management. So I can actually see in colors the hours that we just discussed about. Okay. Now, escape, sorry. So I created in a Google spreadsheet. I have it printed. I have 56 of them printed. I created a binder, and that's where I see my weeks of the year. I can see ahead of time. Okay. In my weekly plan sheet, I have, you can put here your name and the week, week of, for example, if you're going to start this week. So you put the week of February 8, from February 8 to February whatever following week is, and you print your 53, 56, for the year ahead. I created a binder and I can see every week where I am at. The reason why you want to create this is because before, when I was fully on the field, I wanted it to make sure that if I'm going to be out of the house for 5 hours and I'm going to be doing a show or a trade or whatever, my family knows where I am. So I would put my weekly plan sheet in the fridge so my family knows where I am. And if they need me, if I'm working, what am I doing, where I am. So if you want to, involve your family into this, you might want to open up and share with your family as well. So you're going to put on the left your hours. I only put my active hours, which start at 6 a.m. My power hour is not here because the power hour is normally from 5 to 6 a.m., but you can add it as well. The more hours you put, the better. And in the bottom, I put the color coding that I use. So right now, I'm going to fill it with you. Imagine the 168 hours that we have, on a daily basis, or starting to sleep, because obviously you go to bed, for example, at 10, or 11, depending, sometimes we have conference calls, it goes beyond 11, or maybe you live in Africa and you are taking the forensic call at 3 a.m. in the morning. So you have to be able to have that in your schedule. If you are staying awake for a call, and then how are you replacing those hours, right? So you have to book everything. So your food time, for example, we said 30 minutes in the morning for breakfast, 30 minutes at night for dinner, and an hour in the middle, for example. So then you're gonna I put food in orange. So in my case, for example, I take grooming and food time in the morning together. Maybe it's from 6 to 7, Monday to Friday. So you make it orange, right? So that's your food time. So you already know that time is for eating. And then if you have work or a job, for example, in my case, I start at 8. So 8 to 5, I'm in the office every day, minimum. I never leave at 5, but assuming that's your job. Okay, you're gonna color code your job. That means in the time in the middle, for example, like I do my lunch at 1:30 to 2:30, but let's say 1 to 2, it's my lunch time. So in here, instead of actually eating, I'm gonna have my lunch time, but maybe I'm gonna do customer service calls for my business. So I can actually put it out in my Opulence color, which is white. So maybe I can actually leave it white if I want to mix and match my food with some customer service calls. Maybe I'm following up with a customer. Maybe I am actually doing virtual launches. So I'm going to be doing one virtual launch every day. So I'm going to leave it white because Opulence goes in white, for example. Okay. And then 7 to 8, I'm actually commuting to go to work. So my commute is pink. Okay. So my commute time every day, 7 to 8, is commuting. Normally, I'm in the office at 7:30, so I have a coffee, I prepare the building for the staff, whatever it is, it's in there. I'm not even accounting what am I using those time for, because I'm not going to be calling people at 7 a.m., right? I catch up on my messages. Sometimes I speak to our partners that are in Africa or Philippines. This is when I am actually talking to Marie and Genevieve. Our staff in the Philippines is normally 7, 8 in the morning. Okay? Next one. My gym, when is my gym time? Normally it's 7 to 8. So at 7 every day, I am in my gym. So you put your gym time. Okay. Now my tours and my lunches. So maybe here, because it's going to be a tour and a launch, I'm going to actually put it in blue. Maybe it's a Israel call. Maybe it's a Kenya call. I know I have a Kenya call this coming Monday. So I'm going to put it here in blue. And then I have Israel call at 2. So I'm going to mark it, right? So it's part of my job, but I'm still working. I have to put that I have other calls, right? What else? Maybe you are doing the business tour. Now in here, tours and launches, I have to include, which is my trainings, right? So for example, Monday at 8 is my product crossfire call. And then Tuesday at 9, forensic networker call. And then Saturday morning, 10 to 12, I can't miss my Saturday live training. There you go. Okay. Are you loving this? If you were not organized with your time before, I hope that this is going to be helpful for you to see where are you putting the time? Right? Now, I love using the colors because it gives me a visual of where I have free time that I can allot, or, it's a lot of times that I can use for my business. So a lot of the reason, okay, I'm doing this in the computer to show you, you need to have this printed. I know technology helps us. Many people do it on their phones. Many people have their agenda here, but it's exactly what happens with your customer list. When we ask you every second Saturday of the month to do your list, and I ask you who actually has that list written, because technology does not work for this type of things. Why? We're human beings. It might be easier. I know, for example, Google Calendar has the color coding. Hotmail has a color coding in the calendars. I like that for the office stuff, but for my personal life, I rather have my printed version. Why? Because maybe a prospect cancel and you need to make adjustments, right? So you need to change. Like, I'm not meeting Daniela anymore. I'm meeting Renee. I'm not meeting with Stephanie. I'm meeting with Ifra. So I always like to use, like I color coded and then I use pencil so I can change my appointments. Okay. Now, I love this because if you have children, for example, this is, I'm only talking about myself, but if you have children and you have school and then tomorrow is hair day and then the next day they have to bring food to the, to share with their team, it could be many different things that people have in the same agenda. So in my 40 hours that I'm selecting for JOB, maybe you have, hundreds of items to do at home. I haven't even booked here my cleaning, my laundry, my cooking time. Okay, cooking time. So for example, for me, Sundays is my cooking time. So maybe from 4 to 7, I cook, I have dinner, So my cooking time is, what color I put for cooking? I think food time is orange, right? So I'm gonna put it in orange. Let me just close the chat here. And maybe church. It's normally at 2. 2 to 4, maybe you go to church, or, where is my brown? I miss the brown. Okay. And now the rest maybe is your family time. So if I'm watching a movie, like I don't do the Monday calls every day, but maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I watch a movie with my family. So from 8 to 10 is my family time, for example, right? And then all my Sunday is with my family. So I'm gonna mark it green, right? But for example, maybe one day I'm invited to be a special guest from 1 to 3. So I can put it in blue. So the reason why you have to have this every week is because every week is changing. Okay. And then 6 to 7, I'm normally commuting, going to my studio, to my office, or, I want you to have every spot used. Why? Because you're using it all the time, even if it's free. Every single hour is used with something. And this will show you, for example, when you had -2, you cannot be a -2, right? And this only shows you until 10 p.m. I know many of you are not even probably sleeping 8 hours, or maybe you're sleeping during the day and then you're working at night if you have a night shift. Okay. Now, the rest is your free time. So my free time could be Saturday morning, right? Before my call, or then here, afternoon. Free time today. Yay. And then in my free time, I can cook. In my free time, I can organize my house. In my free time, I can do cleaning, or you can change the color if you want to. I love with the colors, and no word of a lie. The other day I'll show you. Here's my planner, my actual planner, right? That's who I am. Like if you look at my pencil case, I do have all the colors. Like I use this on a daily basis. Why? For me, it's just easier. For many of you, maybe you want to do it in your phone. The reason why I don't like to do it in the phone is because it's not duplicatable, sorry. In your team, when you're teaching people, where do they want to do their business? If you're teaching people how to make extra $500 a week, how am I going to show you? I need to show you something that you can do. And people can color code a schedule in a paper. Not everyone can do Google Calendar, for example. It's very nice, but it's also complicated. So you need to go with the trend. I understand many people like to do it in the computer. I know, for example, for instance, Rene, when you ask him for something, he opens his phone and he's already looking at his agenda, see if he actually can give you, 15 minutes of his time. That works for him, but that doesn't duplicate. Not everyone is going to be technological like Rene. Sorry to put you on the spot. It's just an idea. So this is to time management. This is to know where you're using your time. And you can see I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like about 10 hours free, that I could still use for my business. So those times, like imagine I was not working in Opulence, but I had 8 to 9 every Tuesday. Here I can do a tour, I can do a presentation, I can do a power hour of calling people. If I'm going to do a power hour, for example, or like go to school for people who are going to trainings, or other things, you can put school here for your calls and you can make it red, right? If you're cleaning your house, on a Sunday night, maybe put it here. You need to find the time that you can actually multitask, like Pauline was sharing. I am cooking, maybe my lunch at the same time I'm doing my training. You know, for me, I'm the other way around. Like if I'm on a call, I want to be 100% on the call. Like I don't want to be doing other things. But if you can multitask, great. A lot of people put it in mute, they just leave it there and they're doing something else. I like to be present in the moment. So you need to have that time scheduled so that you are 100% committed to that. So when you're with your children, you're not answering someone from Opulence, right? Like you are with your children. You take care of your business at your business time. When you are at church, you're not texting people. When you are at church, you are in your church time. So I want you to be present in the moment, right? It's like a habit. When you wake up, the first thing you do is when you wake up is you make up your bed, probably, right? You leave your bed organized, then you go into a shower, you groom, you see, you already have a habit. So everything should be scheduled. Why? So that you're not running and you're not procrastinating on the things that you actually have to do. So you can actually put, for example, your forensic time, instead of the free time being yellow, your forensic time could be yellow or orangey. So you know that when you're opening your boss box and you're actually calling people and you're doing a power hour, I'm going to do 1 hour phone calls. That means 60 minutes. You have to account. I'm going to give 3 minutes per prospect. I'm calling to make bookings. I have to call you to book an appointment. I'm not calling you to find out how is your dog. I'm calling you to book an appointment. The purpose of my call is to see, can we get together for a virtual lunch tomorrow at 10? Perfect. You can? Okay, what about Wednesday? Okay, I have an evening time. Could we do it at 7 p.m.? I'm calling to book an appointment. You have to have the reason and the purpose for your call so that it doesn't go beyond the time. Agreed? Awesome. Any questions so far? I'm going to stop sharing here because we haven't got into money management yet. I told you it was going to be an exciting call. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. So give me some feedback if there is questions. Do we have questions, Christine, you see in the panel?
Thank you very much, Danny. Steph Weiss is asking of if we can have this, Excel or Google Sheet on our back office for us.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is Monday, I'm going to put it in actual PDF, because right now I have it. I have my own printed in my binder, and that's the one I use. But if you think this is going to be helpful, I can definitely upload it in the back office. So I will ask our IT team to load it on Monday, so you can have it as a tool and use it. Actually, we have a forensic tracking sheet that is called, it's actually your DMO, where you actually put your activities and you can track it. I'm going to show you one for money management. That's the one I personally have used for the past 16 years. But yeah, so the power hour, there is 2 different ones. Okay, for power hour, I know you are asking me. My personal power hour is for me. Okay, personal power hour is divided in 4. Okay, all of them are divided in 4. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. The forensic sheets I love, that's following the forensic networker system. This is just basically my day-to-day system, is not necessarily the forensic one, but the forensic one, which I'm going to show you in a minute for money, it's fantastic. Okay. So we have, for example, 15 minutes, your first 15 minutes for the personal, it's, to do your prayers in the morning. It could be gratitude. It could be your visions. It could be positive affirmations. 15 minutes for stretching. It's for your physical body. Okay. It could be stretching. It could be yoga. It could be Tai Chi. It could be so many different things. 15 minutes, for yourself. 15 minutes. It could be meditation. Okay, for those who like to meditate. And then 15 minutes of positive affirmation, visualization. Where are you going? Okay, and you can use your gratitude journal from the day before so that you know what are you doing today. Okay, that's the personal hour. And then your business personal hour, that's what I call the power hour. Okay, power hour in your business is 15 minutes for new bookings. Okay, you need to speak to new bookings. If your agenda is empty, you are out of business. It's as simple as that. It's 11:11. Okay, 15 minutes of bookings, 15 minutes of follow-ups. Okay, you have to follow up. How is the product doing? Are you using the product properly? Are you loving your Fairy Flawless? How is your new necklace looking? Have you used it yet? Okay. Nice. Next one. That's the first 15 minutes, right? Second one, 15 minutes of reorders. Are you doing customer service calls? Okay, 15 minutes of customer service, connecting with your customers. Hi, Maria. It's been 1 month. I haven't spoken to you. I've been extremely busy, but I just want to make sure that everything is well with your life. I just wanted to touch base with you. How are you doing with your products? How is Fountain of Life doing? Are you following your journal? Okay. I just want to make sure you're using, the right amount of product, right? All of those things. Connect with your customers, and then 15 minutes, okay, for yourself when it comes to the business. It could be organizing your inventory. It could be, preparing your orders for the next day. It could be preparing your welcome packages that you give away for promo. All of those things, okay? Wrapping your products. If you are selling product 101, which I am a big advocate of, I don't want to lose that personal touch. But if you're using your website, then perfect. That's done for you, okay? Questions?
Yes. How about planning? Time for planning, Daniela. Where do you put it, or how much time do you do to plan your?
You can put it in your power hour, and for the business, like every day you're not going to have the same activities, right? So I'm just the reason why I love the power hour is because if you're very busy and you're a part-timer, you don't have enough time yet, then you can't fully put an hour for planning. I love doing, for example, vision boards and planning, sessions with my team. Why? Because I want to make sure they have a target. So when you have a target, you know where you're going, right? Like if you don't know where you're going, then I started the call like that. If you haven't decided that you want to plan ahead, then that's why you're going to end up with more month than money. But when you plan and you already have that aside, different story, right? So let's say in your list you have 200 people or 500 people, then you have to put in by times. You are not going to say like, I'm going to call 200 people today. Actually, our PVS team does 100 calls a day. Okay, so if it's 100, but that means, out of the 100, how many people really are going to pick up the phone? A lot of them are going to be just messages. People are not, people are busy. They're not going to be just waiting for your call. But when you are booking and you're saying, can I call you in 2 days? Perfect. Is Wednesday at 8 good? Because Wednesday at 8, you're doing your power hour. So you're promising people something, they're opening the door so they know that you're going to call them, Wednesday at 8. So most likely you will get the person to pick up the phone. Okay. Any more questions for time management? We're going to get into the money.
Yes. So that's all for time management. No questions anymore.
One of the things that I want to suggest, if you're a leader on this call, for example, every single one of you in this call is a leader. Okay. Every single one of you have a team, whether it's one person or you just started your business, you have ever lead something, right? We all have led something in our life. So you are a leader, right? Even if it's organizing, your baptism for your children or whatever it is, you have led something in your life. So when you're leading and you're preparing and you're doing dinner or you're hosting, whatever it is that you're doing, you have a schedule for everything. Who are you inviting, who's coming, what are you supposed to buy, when are you going to buy, like all of these things, right? It's part of it. So you all have led something. One thing I love, 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 love to do is sessions with the team. So for example, we can do a vision board day where we're all doing our vision board and everybody has their cameras on, but I love to do that with my team. Why? Because bonding is very important. So use social aspects to do so. So for example, we're going to start with the leadership cocktails. That's a social time to have that time with the team to bond and to get to know you as a person. So I love to create sessions with the team to build that, right? Like awareness within the team, and welcome Berling, and welcome Stephanie, and welcome Daniela, and welcome, Nancy. Like, it's to know each other as human beings, right? And I love that. So you can use those times, or we can have our women power hour every Monday morning. So you can move your power hour. Instead of doing it at 5 a.m., you can do a club at 8 a.m. And we're all going to get together in Zoom to do a women power hour of 15 minutes of meditation. And we can put music and we all meditate. And let's look at our vision boards, and let's do a planning session with the team. Always involve your team. Those social aspects bring value to people. Because remember, one of the things you started this is to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Okay? So Melanie, your power hour, okay, if it's for yourself, okay, for your family, for your children, it's 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of stretching your body. It could be yoga or Tai Chi, 15 minutes of positive affirmations, and 15 minutes of vision. Where are you going? It could be gratitude journal. It could be your vision board. Where are you going? Okay. And of course, it could be your prayers. If it's power hour for the business, it could be bookings, follow-ups, customer service, and the things that don't bring necessarily money to your business, like organizing your inventory, recouping your sales for the week, which I'm going to show you. I'm very excited for what's coming. Money management is very, very important. I find that most of the people don't manage their wealth right, and that's why they have more month than money. I don't like to look at the business from the $150 personal volume perspective, but because it's what everybody understands, I'm going to refer to the 150 all the time. If you are a person who's really doing this business to make money, obviously the $150 PV is irrelevant completely. Why? Because if I want to make $500 a month cash, okay, I have it right here. I actually brought it. If I want to make $500 cash, okay, this month, is my 150 relevant? No, because all I'm focusing is $500 a month. I'm focusing on the income. I'm not focusing on the expense, or actually I should say the investment. So the 150 PV becomes irrelevant, but because it's the term that we know, and if you're new in this training and you don't even know what I'm talking about, you will see the minimum requirement in your business, Opulence business, to keep your account active is to generate at least $150 Canadian in personal volume, okay? That could be fashion, beauty, personal care, pandemic kits. It could be VIP builders, right? Anything counts towards your personal volume. Okay, you need a minimum of 150. But if I'm focusing on the money that I want to make, that's what I have to worry about. You have to go backwards from the bigger goal to the smaller goal, from the big idea and the big dream to what I am doing today. You have to do small steps every day that will take you to that bigger goal. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a personal story about this. When I started this, I told you my first car, I earned it in my first 6 months when I started in this industry, and I didn't have a driver's license, right? But my dream was to buy a house. Back in the day, I needed at least, $20,000 for the down payment back in the day. So I saved, it took me 4 years to save $20,000 from my business to put a down payment for my house. Okay, so you have to separate your personal goals from your business goals. And that's why I use this wallet. So I still have it. I brought the jars because some people like to save money in jars. So they like to put jars for different things. If you do that, love it. Everybody's different, right? I just had one wallet that had 3 zippers, one zipper for taxes, one zipper for my business, and one zipper for my profits. Okay. So you have to be very careful, because the same way you're tracking your time is the same way you're going to track your money. So I have created, and I'm going to share it with you, another sheet here that I use for my money management. It's a little bit more complicated, but you can track everything here. So this is basically designed for Opulence business, right? And it is the same thing. I just need to track how many bottles I am selling, how many shows I am doing, how many virtual launches I did. And from those virtual launches, how many sales I'm having. Because the problem is not doing presentations. The problem is that you guys are not tracking the result of those presentations. So if I cannot track it, I cannot measure it. If I cannot measure it, I cannot see the result. And most of the times we just get frustrated. So as entrepreneurs, if I look at the number, I can tell you that if I sold the bottle of Fountain of Life in 15 minutes, my profit from that bottle will be maybe $20 in an hour. But if you are in a day, like the example I just gave you earlier, where I spent 4 hours just to commute plus 2 hours to do the show, I spent 6 hours of my time. I sold one eyeshadow of $10. So I made $5 in 6 hours. That doesn't even cover the time, the ticket for the bus, right? In that time. But my point to you is the more you know your numbers, it's easier to measure. So take a look at this. First, you're going to put here your date and time. So let's say it's your business tour of a Monday. So you're going to put February 7, right? February 7, let's say, it's actually February 8. February 8, Monday. Okay, I had an appointment with, and you're going to put, for example, Rene Liao is going to come to a virtual launch. You can put here his address, whatever, the information of your prospect. Virtual launch with Rene Liao, his address, his phone. You want to have all the more data you have, right? If you have your list separate in your binder, then Rene Liao, you can go back into that. The reason why you want to track it is because at the beginning, it's easy, right? You have 5 customers, 10 customers, 20 customers. But what happens when I had 500 customers, believe me, I look at Rene Liao and I'm like, who was Rene Liao? I don't remember, right? Or maybe you met Rene through George, and George through Reza, and Reza through Stephanie, and Stephanie through Ivra. It's hard and impossible to remember every single one of them. So sometimes when people share, for example, if you share a contact with me and I see the way you save it, right? So I'm going to just give an example. Saido y Opulence 3rd generation from Rhoda. Because it's impossible to remember where did you meet this person, right? So you have to add things that will make you remember that person. So you put it in here. How many hours did I invested with this person? Okay, let's say I made a phone call to their guest. So I invested with his launch, let's say 1 hour. Okay, and from that hour, he invited 5 people. So it was like 5 calls. So I did half an hour of phone calls for this particular. And then from that virtual launch, I got 2 orders and 1 more booking because his friend George actually wants to do his own virtual launch. So it was not a one-on-one presentation, right? Let's say I invited it to our virtual launch. So it was one-on-one presentation. I had 2 orders. So each order was $150. So I sold $300 in my one-on-one presentation. Okay, that's without counting the taxes. Okay, then it was, how much was my sales tax? It was $300 was the sale. I didn't give them any gift this time because they did the order on their own. So the Opulence points and everything they're getting from their website. So I didn't buy anything for this $300. I didn't give away any products for free. Maybe you offered them a VIP builder. So that's, let's say, $12 cost. Okay, you have to put here your cost. So if I'm giving them a VIP builder at cost, it cost me $12 without counting the tax. Okay, I gave away product, I didn't give away. So how much is the non-recovered tax? So the taxes of the $12. So you do, in our case, in Canada, we pay taxes. If you are in an international country and you're not retaining tax, you have to separate it. What's the tax in your country? So if in your country you're paying, for example, 13%, you have to save that money because at the end of the year, you're going to have to pay it. Okay, if you are going to declare the income from your business, you have to declare it. So you do 12% times 13% is $1.56 that I'm not recovering from my tax. So my sales, right, in total was my $300 plus my $12 that I don't have, right? So you have to minus it. So $300 minus my $12 gift minus $1.56. My total is 286.44. And I am not counting my profit yet. Okay. You're going to do at the end. Next one, I did another show on the same day. I did a tour in the evening. Okay. And I'm going to have it with Stephanie Weiss, for example. And it's going to be a tour. Okay. So I'm going to invest 2 hours in the tour. Maybe I call her a couple of times. I got one order because she became an LA. I didn't got any bookings after that. And it was not on the go. It was not an online order. It was not a trade show. It was not a miscellaneous sale. It was a one-on-one presentation. So I sold her an LA package, right? LA package. So that's, let's say a $1,500 sale. Okay. Same thing here, $1,500, no tax, nothing, right? All of it. So how much are you selling? In this case, the $1,500 don't go to you. If they're doing it through the website, you are just getting the profit back. Okay, from your website, you're not receiving the money. But a lot of you are using Opulence currency. So maybe you are receiving the $1,500 cash from that person. They're paying you everything in cash, and then you're sending them with Opulence currency through the website. So you have to put it here. Because you can't grab $1,500 and go shopping. Agreed? You have to put that money back into your expenses. So what I want you to do is separate your sales tax from your actual sales from your profit. So when you have the $1,500 in 10 days, you receive your $250 in your card, which now it's easier. I'm just showing you the very basic way if you're receiving money for product, okay? If you are doing cash and carry sales, which is on the go, okay? On the go, cash and carry is the same thing. You're coming to my house, or I'm coming to your house, I'm delivering your fountain of life, you're giving me the cash for the bottles. And because you bought 2 bottles of fountain of life and I gave you a toothpaste for free, I have to deduct the sale of the toothpaste. Okay, because I am giving it to you. That's where you put it here, product given away at retail. I'm giving you a $20 toothpaste for free. I have to account my toothpaste here because it's coming out of my profit. Agreed? I love this. The more you track, the better you're going to become at your expenses. It might look overwhelming in the beginning, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Because when at the end of the week, you see how much I sold, minus my taxes, minus, you have to save that money for your taxes though, 100%. I wrapped the product in a beautiful gift bag. I had to pay for the gift bag. I had to pay for the ribbon. I had to pay for the tissue paper. All of those are expenses of your business. I had to buy a new laptop. I had to upgrade my internet. I had to buy a new desk and a new chair. All of those expenses come from where? Your profits. So at the end of the week, you have to put here, for example, let's say this week, because you're one of those who have very few hours. Okay. The example I gave you in the beginning is 5 hours a week, right? I'm not counting that that person is actually getting training. Let's say you actually only do Saturday training and these shows. Okay. So this week total was 3 hours I invested this week. Okay. So my new total is 3, whatever. If you have the previous week, you can pass on the week you want to do year to date. Okay. Because if this month you are investing 20 hours in your business, you got to make sure that you're doing 20 hours. If you promise yourself 5 hours a week, but you only do 2, will you be successful? No. If I'm going to put in my business 10 hours a week, I got to work 10 hours, because it's like if I go to Ramin, you're hiring me to do 40 hours, but I can only come 20. Will he pay me the 40? No, right? I'm just giving you an example. Same thing. You can't just show up with your boss and say, well, you pay me 40, but I work 20. Same thing with your business. It's exactly the same. You are hiring yourself. And this is a question that I always ask. If you were the owner of your own business, will you hire yourself? You don't have to answer to me, but if the answer is no, where do you have to work on as a person to become better? Is there any questions so far? Christina, I just see the thing coming up.
Yes, so just like before, if we can have this tracker on our back office.
Yes, I'm gonna upload it too. It's actually in the same file, but I'm gonna just put two different PDFs for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So another question is we can use the marketing pool. Is that correct, Danny?
For what? Sorry?
The marketing pool. I don't know. Ronan, can you please
Marketing pool is for promo material. So, for example, if you're buying brochures, if you're buying bags, of course you can use your marketing pool. It's part of your profitability, right? Promo material. Let's say you ordered a new banner, for your presentations. You order bags, you order gift ribbon, you order promo material, you order Opulence t-shirts. Maybe you're doing a promotion with t-shirts for free. People love promotional items from your company because they want to be a part of what you are, right? Oh, I have, Fairy Flawless towels. Give away Fairy Flawless towels. Give away Fairy Flawless headbands. Give away things that are adding value to the person. Those items you can actually use your marketing pool for. Okay, so I'm continuing my counting. I actually did 2.5 hours of phone calls. Look at this. So I spent 3 hours in my meetings and 2.5 hours to do phone calls. I got three orders this week and one booking for next week, which is horrible. This is a very important line. If you don't have bookings, you don't have a business. Okay, this is simple. If you don't have bookings, you're out of business. Next thing is I actually sold $1,800 this week. So it wasn't that bad because I sold $1,800 in 3 hours. Okay. I didn't have sales on the go. I didn't have online orders. This is without counting. Okay. I didn't do trade shows and I didn't do sales from my book or miscellaneous or reorders. This line, actually I have to make this line a little bit bigger because it includes lookbook, miscellaneous sales, and reorders are in the same line. So my sales without tax are $1,800. I gave away $12 from my VIP builder. I gave away a toothpaste, that's $20. So my non-recovered tax, I have to take the taxes from the other one. So $20 times 13%, 260. I don't recover here. So 260 plus 156. I don't recover $4.16 for this. So sorry, the total here is 1,500. Oh, sorry, 1,500 minus 20, 260. So 1,477. Okay. So my total it's plus 286.44. So 1,763.84. Okay. So when I go to the bottom, I can do a recap of what I did. How many presentations, how many on-the-go appointments, how many tours, okay, all my sales tax. So in here, my sales for the week was $1,800 for the entire week, okay? Did I place an order to Opulence? Did I place an order this week? So if you actually place an order that week, was it, $500, $600? Was it a family pack? Your total of, orders, you have to deduct it, right? So let's say I sold $1,800. Actually, the $1,500 for a package didn't come to you. So you don't have to account it. But if you actually receive $300 from that customer, but you order 700 this week to replace, orders from the last week. So if you place an order, let's say you order, let's say you order your $150 in shopping credit. Let's say it happens to be your smart buy this week. So in here, you're going to do your profitability, okay, of the week. How many I sold? You can track your yearly sales, you can track your monthly sales, you can track your weekly sales. It's up to you. In here, I like to put my year. So I look at my previous week. Last week, I sold $500 plus this week, I sold $1,800. So 1,800 plus 500. I always like to add the previous week because this, you're going to have the same binder for time management that you have for money management. So I always have 1 week, one money, 1 week, one money, 1 week, one money. Why? Because I want to see that you're going to love it. There is going to be the point where you're making, for example, your residual, you're going to include it in here. Every Tuesday I receive, let's say, 3 power cycles. $1,200 cash, it's income, right? So you're going to put it here. It's part of your income. This is what you are selling only. I want to manage the part that most people don't do. Because what happens is then you receive income, right? And then you just go spend it. And at the end of the month, you don't even have $150 to place your active order. But most people don't know how to manage the cash aspect, which is what they have on a day-to-day. And you overspend what you are supposed to reinvest. Okay, so I always like to put it here, more or less. I suggested to allow 70% of your sales for product replacement. 30% is your profit, and then you, from your profits, you lessen your giveaways. Why? Because the giveaways, pay tax, the giveaways are an added value that are helping you to upsell. Maybe I was going to buy one bottle of Fountain of Life, but I told you that you would get a free fluoride-free toothpaste if you buy 2 bottles. Perfect. 2 bottles, $150, you get a toothpaste for free. So the toothpaste I'm giving you, I already paid for at a cost. Okay, you're going to put here gives at a cost. Yes, it's not costing you $25, it's costing you less, but you're going to account for it. So your profit is not exactly, right? If you're buying for, let's say, $60 and you're selling for $80, your profit is not exactly $20 per bottle, because it's $40 minus $10 off the toothpaste. So now your profit is $30 that you can use. So I put $30 in my profit bucket. So $30 I can go spend whatever I want or buy stuff for my children. The $30, not $40, not $150 that I received cash today because I sold 2 bottles. And that's exactly what happens. People spend the money they receive instead of separating the profit and only using the $40 they're supposed to, or the 30. Do you get my point? The reason why this sheet is important is because it allows you to see exactly the profit of the week. You can see exactly in the bottom here, okay, you put your gross sales, which in this case was $300, right? Because your profit from the $1,500 that you sold is $250, your wholesale profit, right? So $300, your profit will be your sales tax times 30%. So I'm going to put here 250. Okay, in the 250, I'm not even using on its own. From the 250, I should save the tax portion for gifts or for promotions or for that. Because when you're buying promo material, for example, from your marketing bonus, that's money that you're using from your profits. The marketing bonus is for you. We're just investing that little portion into marketing, right? So it's coming out of your profit anyways. You should account for that marketing bonus as your profitability. You know, you're using it for promo. So questions. So we're going to put here, sorry, I was doing the $300 in sales. So $300 in sales times 30%, it's 90, right? $90 is my profit for this week. So I cannot not take $300 from my pool. I take $90 from my pool. $90 is what I can spend, right? And then in the bottom, I have something that I love to use for me and my upline. This is my report of my money. You don't have to share with your upline if you're not working together. But one thing I do feel that this week I was lacking, it was closing my sale. So I'm going to make sure I speak to my upline so that they can help me with closing the sale. So what I do is I put here, where do I need training on? I would like more information about booking, about closing the sales. I need coaching. I want to learn more about customer service. I want to learn about sharing the opportunity. I want to learn about business management. Where do you want to become better? If you don't know where do you want to become better and you're not sharing that with your upline, how are they going to help you? Right? So then you can put here, okay, I sold $300 this week. Okay, plus, so actually I earned, right, is my goal. I earned $90 plus my $250. So I earned $340, right, this week. But my goal for next week is $500. So imagine if you do that, then that means this week you made $250 from your goal of 500 a month. So you need to know that next week I can do the 250. So I have 2 weeks for free. That means whatever I do in my third and my fourth week is going to be completely free for myself or for my children, or, to buy something new, whatever it is your goal. So I need to know where am I targeting next week. So how many presentations I'm going to do? Really, this week I was a little bit lazy. I only did 3 presentations. Or actually, I only did 2 presentations and I invested 3 hours. So I used my 5.5 hours that I promised that I was going to use. So if I only have 5 hours and I don't have more time, maybe I'm going to continue to do 2 presentations a week because that's all the time I have. But I think I could squeeze another lunch, virtual lunch, while I am in lunch. So let's try to push one more lunch for this week. So I do 2 presentations plus 1 lunch. Maybe I can get an extra $100 sale there. How many people am I interviewing? How many customer calls am I doing? So in here, you're going to start accounting your power hour, Opulence power hour. So how many calls I am actually doing, how many attempts of conversations I'm having with people. So you put your total earnings divided into how many hours you actually work. So in this case, you actually made 240, right? So you put in this week, I earned $340 into, I go back here to my hours, right? Which it was 2.5 hours, 3 hours that I invested, right? So this week I actually made $340 into 3 hours. I actually made $113.33 per hour. Okay. And you can use this as your contact list for the following week. So every week you are having new prospects because now Nora introduced you to 5 of her friends. And Stephanie introduced you to her daughter. And her daughter brought 2 neighbors. And you have to ask for the referrals because your list is going to end. So you can use this section to complete prospects for your following week. So this week, with 3 hours that you actually work, you made $113 per hour. And you gave 5 hours to your business. Okay, I'm opening for questions. I know you probably have a lot. If you can tell me, Christine, if there is question, I'm just gonna get my charger because I'm running out of battery.
Yes. So if you have, thank you very much, Danny. If you have any questions, just put it on the question and answer section that we have so that I can ask Danny, or raise your hand so that I can unmute you.
Okay, so let's see if there is questions on the chat. I just give a gift to my friend, family, and customer, but now I'm happy the new package came, so now I can use that to, exactly. You see, in the packages, we always also consider those type of things. Like, for example, if you have a VIP builder and you have 10 different little gifts that you can give away, those are expenses of your business. So at the end of the year, those are become deductibles, right? So don't ever, like, I love this phrase that we always had, don't cheap on your business because your business will cheap on you. So I am always about giving to my client. So the more spoil I have my customers, the less possibilities are for them to go somewhere else, right? Awesome. Let's see what else we have here. So if you would like to share anything or ask something. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Danny. Hi, Christine. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for this amazing training. I think it's these tools and tracking and paying attention to our time and our finances is really what separates a hobbyist from a business owner, right? And come tax time and all these things like that, this tool that you just showed for tracking all the activities and the income we're generating makes it really easy. I think Nora addressed that in the chat. Couple little things I wanted to share when I had my hand raised for the time part. And I know it can be an adjustment of going from just kind of free flowing with your calendar to blocking things and planning. And it's not always an easy transition, right? For some people. So one trick that has helped me is setting a timer. So if I have something blocked in my calendar and I go to do that said task, actually set a timer so that I'm focusing on that task at hand and not getting distracted, and I'm utilizing the time that I've allowed myself in the best way. I'm sharing this as it's not perfect, but it's something that I've started doing recently and I found it really helpful. So maybe that would be helpful for others. So I just wanted to share that. And the other thing I wanted to just point out, I know it was brought up for planning, right? So if we look at this finance planning sheet and planning our week, what are the things we're going to do? What are the things that we achieved the last week? I think carving some time on a Sunday or, kind of, I don't know. I've started doing this as well. As anything I'm sharing, I always share as I'm learning. It's not something I've mastered myself, but it's all about progress, right? Mm-hmm. So I have some time blocked in my week on Sundays for planning. So I actually plan my week ahead. And that's where this finance tool could come in really handy, because you're mapping out things. You're also maybe doing a review of the previous week and filling out that tracker of everything that you did achieve. So part of it is planning ahead and maybe a review of the last week. And there's a few questions I wanted to share that I ask myself in terms of my weekly review. I know it doesn't tie into time or finances, but I think they're very relevant, because I think as we go and building our business, we do need to take a pause every so often to share the progress and to celebrate the progress and to reflect on the things that we're learning as well. So as part of my weekly review, I have an hour every Sunday. I ask myself these questions and I answer these for myself. 3 things that I made happen, 3 things that I learned about myself, what's something I learned about someone else, and what's one thing I can do better.
Absolutely.
And so,
actually, Steph, let me go there. This is an amazing added bonus that we have to do another training for that, which is part of your daily gratitude, right? So I ask myself those questions before I go to bed. So I know in my headspace, like you said, if you planned ahead on a Sunday, which is actually the right way to do, because your start is Monday morning. You don't want to be Monday morning. What am I doing this week? Sunday night is the perfect time. So every night before you go to bed, you know exactly what you're going to do the next day. So everything compounds together, but I'm not expecting for all of you to take everything that we looked at today and put it in practice like the 100%. You have to gradually do it. I love those questions to be done before you go to bed. On a daily basis, you need to, clap on yourself and say, you know what, you did good. Like, you have to go to bed with that positive feeling of the things that you accomplished. And of course, those days that are hard, that you didn't accomplish what you wanted or that you could do better. So I really like, if you want to repeat those 3 questions, those are phenomenal for, adding it to your gratitude journal before you go to bed every day.
Sorry, you want me to repeat them?
Yes, those 3 are phenomenal.
Sure. So 3 things that I made happen, 3 things that I learned about myself, what's one thing I learned about someone else, and one thing I can do better.
I love that.
There's actually another one, the biggest decision. It's just not part of a weekly review, but I guess it's a good reflection point. The biggest decision I made and stuck to this month. So the reason why I have that one is my word for this year is intention. And so I'm setting targets and I'm being very intentional about where I'm spending my time. So I want to make sure I'm kind of reflecting on that as well. Like, what did I stick to? Because that's part of intention. Is like, I have a habit of like starting things and not finishing them or getting distracted or derailed. So I want to always have that reminder of like, what decision did I make that I'm actually keeping my promise to myself? So I think those questions tie in really well. Like, if you have a planning session for your week ahead, but then you're also taking that file that Danny just showed in terms of the financial management and your activities, and you do that as a best practice every week, not only are you organized, but you've also got a really good pulse on how you're operating your business, which I think is something we all should strive for. I think it's very important. Thank you for this awesome training, Danny.
You're very welcome. And we have Renee on the house.
Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Danny.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks. I just want to say a great share again from Steph Wise just now. I love how she always had these new ideas she's working on, and that's really just amazing. And just want to share as well that I think today's training was such a valuable training for so many people. I think that it really starts to make you wonder, and really separate the serious from the curious. Who are those that will actually take these small but such vital important steps to really having success in their business. And I think one of the biggest things that I think that you're really helping people to understand here is that we all think we're busy, but the question is, are we really busy putting the time in the wrong places? Are we busy doing things that aren't actually productive in that case? And I found that for myself 13 years ago, what I really had to do was just really start to, like you mentioned, prioritize the important things. And I loved how you really just broke it down, because I did the same thing, 13 years ago when I started this business. I wrote down, where's all my hours going in a day? I was like, going to this nightclub here, going to that dinner, going on this. Literally, I was going to the gym like 5 days a week, and I realized, my goodness, spending an hour and a half in the gym 5 days a week. And then I realized that after reading some books that you could get a really great workout for just 15 minutes and put the rest of the time into really building the business. So just really, I guess, like you're saying, time management, there's so many more effective ways of doing the things that we're doing right now, whether it's spending time with the kids or going to the gym or working on your business, I guess working smart is the key thing. So I just want to say thank you so much for an amazing training, and I really enjoyed it today. Thank you, Danny.
No problem, Renee. And we have Nora here as well. Hi, Nora. Would you like to share? And Christine, if you can also unmute, I think we have Rico in the house. Maybe he wants to add something to this amazing tools for time and money.
Okay. Ate Nora, we can hear you. Okay, so got Rico also on the call.
In the meantime, because I don't know if
Hi, Danny.
How are you?
Great that I can see you getting very well. And of course, thank you, Danny, for this wonderful training. And I just want to say also that I'm glad you started out with, what the reason why we need to do this, the attitude, the commitment. And because all of this doesn't make sense if we do not know why we are doing what we are doing. So it's very important that it is very clear. If you want to manage the time and the money that you have, it's very clear why are we doing this. So I'm glad that you share that as well. And there are a lot of learnings and realizations when it comes to the time that we spend. Sometimes we just and that's the reason why a day passes by and you just realize, where did my time go?
Exactly.
And sooner or later it's at the end of the month, it's another end of the month without you being able to accomplish your goals, mainly because there's no clarity in the things that you need to accomplish within a day. As always, it has always been said, time is very important. So we need to put much value on all the things that we need to do. Every second, every minute counts and especially in our business. So great training, Danny. So thankful for this one. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Rico. You see, at the end of the day, you and me get to spend a lot of time with our partners, and we can pick and choose. Some of the times when we see that happening in someone, and we're like, okay, I can help you here, I can help you there, and it just gives you that very good feeling when we're doing this for others. That's part of your why am I doing this. So I think you and me connect a lot into that, in those terms, when we're doing it for people. So the more we learn, we will become better for all of you as well. So thank you, Rico, for being on the call today.
Hello, Danny.
Nora, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for this training because I really wanted to do what you were the document that you were doing there to track. So I actually end up with different paper for my FOL sales for this. I have like three different what you've done is all in one piece, and that's why I asked if you can we can upload that, we can use that as a tool because it's really for tracking, because especially for us here in Canada, we file tax and we have our
Mhm.
business expenses, right? It's all tracked there. When I go to have my taxes, how much is your sales? I know that Renee had that form before, but somehow it got lost. I wasn't able to follow it. So I really want that if you can share that with us, and I really love it because I my mind wants to do it, and then it just like putting it in writing and in words is just so hard for me to do it, to comprehend. I know the basics, but if to put it in line, Christine knows how to do that. Actually teach me how to do that stuff. We started the color coding of the calendar, what we do, and like I'm also with Stephanie. I tend to start when Stephanie was sharing that I tend to start to do things and not finish it. And I was actually saying, "Oh my God, that's me." So, and
Mhm.
then so that's why this is really important because that one what you shared, I can also do that. You can do. I have printed out in my drawer, printed out of the weekly MO, the DMO, but don't go there. But if I can share, use my because I'm on my phone all the time, I can enter the stuff. So I start doing that. So with the layout that you have in the time management, and then if it can be editable, so we can enter our own data, that would be great. We can download it and enter our own data. Just that
So
would be
what I
awesome.
did,
Thank you.
Nora, is like it became my agenda. So now I don't buy agendas anymore. Like I just have my sheets printed, put it in a binder, and it becomes that because you have space to put your contacts. Who are you calling? Who are you supposed to call back? And then that is just your guide, right? You have your boss box, right? Like it's your forensic box. You know exactly who you are supposed to call. But I like that. For when it comes to expenses, you want to have it digital. So at least it's there, right? It's there for you, and you can just type in things. Even for the accountant, it's easier to just give away your sheets every week to the accountant, so your year to date, like what was your total of the year. It's just phenomenal. It helps with the time that you invest in doing your bookkeeping too.
Yeah, I like that one, the last sheet that you shared, because everything is in there. And then now what remember the binder? I don't know if we still have that available. That big
Yes, we have the
binder for
binder. They are still
yeah.
under promo.
That's what I want. Yeah, I want to print that out and put it in that binder. So
And
it's
I believe the binder is like $10 or something like that. We have it on sale.
yeah,
Actually,
because
let me see
I
for
have
you.
all kinds of stuff there, but it's not just like that. It's not, it's a mess. So I want to clean up and do that thing now. So thank
Let
you.
me check so you can see. Did you love the new way your back office is looking? I really like it when it comes to the way it's organized, your fashion, your products. It's easier to find. But we always appreciate the feedback. Remember, feedback is very important. I'm just gonna go to see the promo when you are shopping. So we also, two things I want to share, and just before we wrap up the call, it's two amazing things we have a Valentine's Day section in the website with amazing products. I don't know if you saw the video from our senior vice president yesterday. Beautiful products that were selected for Valentine's Day. If you want to shop before they go, just click on Valentine's Day on the top of your website, and you have amazing pieces that were put aside for Valentine's Day promotion. Another amazing news, I'm going to be doing a video this coming week, but this is great news for Canada. Canada, pay attention to this. Canadians, pay attention to this. You can now buy Opulence currency. Look at to this. Opulence currency without paying HST on it. Okay? Yes. You can now buy Opulence currency without paying HST on it. We want to make sure Canadians can help partners around the globe without having to pay the HST upfront. So now you pay your HST at redemption. If you are using Opulence currency to buy from your own website, then you pay the taxes at redemption. That's it. HST is not now as part of the Opulence currency. So I know the team is going to be excited. Ifra, you asked for it. Stephanie, you asked for it. Nora, you asked for it. So we were looking at other solutions, you know, with our corporate accountants to be able to sell you Opulence currency without having to pay the tax upfront. So now you can actually take advantage of that. And I wanted to make a big deal out of it. I might do a video on our Opulence Global page next week so that you can share the video as well. But now you can text your team and let them know they can buy Opulence currency without paying HST upfront. Okay? Are you excited or what? I love that. So in your back office, I'm just checking for the promo section. When you go under Opulence promo, you can actually find the binder there, or you can just type binder in the search button. And I believe it's $5 or $10. So let me just check. Yeah, it's actually, with your discount is about $5. So you can definitely have it. I see some people with some of the discounts there. So it's about $5. If you're international market, it's $10. It's a very good high quality binder, and you can use it to create, you know, your time management, your money management, or put it together. They're the thick ones. So it's actually perfect for the entire year. So thank you all for being on this amazing call. Is there anything else you would like to add, Christine, or if we have questions?
As regarding the questions, no, we don't have any questions. There's a lot of thank you, great job, you know, incredible information that you have shared. I just want to thank you as well. You know, Danny, that's something that I think every one of us needs needs, because just like, you know, life gets in the way and we forgot to pay attention of what's matter. And, you know, time and money is actually, it matters a lot to a lot of people, to a lot of us. So
what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate these binders as part of our first 30 days business planning day session. So when we have the first 30 days business planning session next week, we can follow up with these trainings and we can make it a part of our, you know, every week, because we are going to forget, like you said, like everything I told you that you might not remember. So every week we can go back to it. We'll back to it. So I'm going to do my own binder to share with you in the GWT binder. Nora, I love that idea. Thank you for reminding us about the GWT binders. They're phenomenal and they're leather. So very good quality. We're going to start adding that. Order your binders. So next week in forensic, when we have our forensic weeks, you can add up all of this as part of your tools of your business and make it into a one great piece of training every week for your partners. So without having anything else more to say, I'm very excited for this training. I hope every single one of you can use this training on a daily basis to make your business successful. Thank you all so much. And I look forward to see you next week. Amazing. He's going like, okay, I'm talking to someone. He's excited. Thank you, team. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.